This meeting is being held in accordance with Public Laws 1975, Chapter 231. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Carl Ostergaard Jr., Commander of the American Legion, Post 228. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our service members here and abroad. Madam Clerk.
Mayor Laufer.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser. Present. Committeeman Capides is absent. Committeeman Huber is absent. Committeeman Weber.
Here.
I would also like to take a moment of silence to commemorate International Holocaust Remembrance Day. So please take a second. Proclamations and announcements. Springfield 55-plus residents calendar, February 2026, is out. Christmas trees will be collected curbside throughout the month of January. Please remove lights, decorations, wire, tree stands, and plastic bags. If you are interested in serving on any boards, including rent leveling, planning, library, there are still some vacancies. Please email your information, including any relevant professional background, to residents-review@springfield-nj.us. And now the moment several of us have been waiting for, the swearing in of Sergeant Anthony Voorhees. Bring your family up, hold the Bible. Sure. And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And to the governments established in the United States. And in this state. Under the authority of the people. And that I will faithfully. Impartially. And justly perform. All the duties of the office of police sergeant. According to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
I won't be that long. I know it's very big font, so don't worry about me taking too long. But just so I don't mess it up and have to start over. So I'd like to thank everyone that's here tonight and to support Anthony in the ceremonial swearing in as our Springfield's newest sergeant. He was officially sworn in on the 13th. Today we did it ceremonially so everyone could be here to celebrate with us. So I'd like to thank all of his teammates that I see that are here from the department, along with First Aid Squad and Fire Department members, his colleagues from federal agencies, and mostly his family, especially his mom, Joanne, his wife, Daniela, daughter, Vittoria, and son, Anthony Jr. Anthony, Sr., was born and raised in Springfield and is a proud product of the Springfield school system. Became a volunteer Springfield Auxiliary Police Officer in October of 1999, and he served the township until November of 2003. Anthony attended and graduated from Seton Hall University, graduating with a major in criminal justice in December of 2002, with a GPA of 3.7, something you bragged about, I know, something like that. Yeah, he did very well. Proud mom, too, I'm sure. In 2005, he attended the John H. Stamler Police Academy as an alternate route recruit, which is a program where you pretty much don't have a job, but you pay for yourself to go through the academy in the hopes of getting hired, which, of course, Anthony did. We had made him an offer, a conditional offer, with our police department in November, as long as he did graduate in December, which he did. So he was then hired by Springfield in December of 2005. He was then assigned to patrol from 2005 through 2013, where he had become a department training officer, a motor officer, and a firearms instructor for our department. In February of 2013, he was assigned to the Detective Bureau as an investigator. His investigative abilities had me assign him to the Homeland Security in 2015 as a task force officer working financial investigations. He was then promoted to detective in January of 2017 and was assigned as the juvenile officer in our Detective Bureau. In 2019, Anthony was reassigned back to his position working financial investigations with the federal government. He also continued to assist our department in cases where additional resources were necessary to further our investigations. He remained there until his promotion to sergeant, like I said, 2 weeks ago. Anthony's family has a legacy of volunteerism in Springfield, beginning with his grandfather, who was instrumental in raising funds and sourcing materials to construct what is now our First Aid Squad building. I think it used to be an old DMV or some other old building in town. So they were instrumental in creating what we have today. And his family is still involved, as Cousin Joe is still a First Aid Squad member. Joe, you're here somewhere probably. Oh, he's not here. All right. Over his career, Anthony has received numerous commendations for his actions, as well as letters of appreciation from civilians that he has assisted. Lastly, I still can recall quite vividly when I was a new cop working the crossing post at Mountain Avenue in Caldwell in front of the Dayton High School. And every day, Anthony is and his friend, his little gang of wise guys on their way to school. I mean, they were all good kids. They were just really wise guys. They were wise asses. Yeah, I'll say it like it is. But they were all good kids. And I think one or two of them wound up becoming law enforcement to some degree somehow. Who would have guessed that some 15 or so years later, I would be working with him? Oh, and he's still a wise guy. He's just a lot older. But he's been a great cop, and he's certainly worthy of this promotion. So congrats, Sergeant Voorhees. And I'd like to thank the committee for allowing us with the restructure and to have another needed promotion. Thank you very much.
Normally, I'd have to give some kind of pep talk to the younger officers, who, whether they were getting hired or they were getting promoted, about what their job entails and what they're supposed to do. I was one of the people that interviewed you, and you crushed it. I don't even have anything. I'm so confident in you and that what you're going to do for the township that all I can just say is I'm excited for the residents and for what you're going to do as a supervisor. For anybody out there that's watching, the bench of the other potential candidates was really good. The next round's going around for more promotions. We have a really solid bench, and the leadership in the Springfield Police Department has literally never been better. Good luck and thank you.
Congratulations. Everybody was, this was a pretty unanimous, just an easy decision. Not all decisions are easy, this one was. So congratulations, good luck. But more importantly, thank you to your family for lending him to us to make our family safe. So thank you.
You know it's a big deal when multiple series show up for a swearing in. So I want to, I was lucky enough to interview you and crash a chicken marsala dinner that you had, and you looked right at home on the road, and I've heard nothing but tremendous things about you and your calm demeanor, and I know you'll transition to the role of sergeant seamlessly, and I look forward to seeing what's next and how you will make the Springfield Police Department better. And I really and I admire the fact that when you interviewed, you said it doesn't matter where you put me, you can throw me in the middle of a pond in a rowboat, and if that's where I'm needed, that's where I'll be. And Sergeant, for all we know, you may be in the middle of a rowboat in the middle of a pond.
He actually did say
He
that.
did. That's a direct quote. And we know you'll do it with command, and we know you'll do it with competence and absolute ability. So thank you and congratulations. We're going to take a brief 5-minute recess so people can file out who are here for the swearing in. We do have a public meeting surrounding the Oakland Avenue Park directly after our recess, so we're gonna keep it to like 5 minutes. So we're in recess. So, this is a public hearing on the Oakland Avenue Park. I just want to let everybody know there will not be a decision made tonight. We plan on making a decision by the end of next month in order to get moving with whatever route we decide to go on. So I just want to give everybody a sense in terms of time frame. You know, we did receive a piece of correspondence from the public. Madam Clerk, do you want to read that? Because I don't seem to have it. Oh, right here. This is from Emiko Tagaki, 41 Oakland Ave. As a senior citizen, I feel safer turning left at a traffic light. What benefit is there in blocking the intersection to create a park, forcing us to take detours and jeopardizing our safety? Who wants this park and for what purpose? Please use our tax money for more meaningful purposes. Thank you, Ms. Tagaki. With that, I want to turn it over to Committeeman Weber, who's going to give a brief overview of the project and what options we're looking at. And after Committeeman Weber speaks briefly, we'll turn it over to the public for you guys to engage, give input, ask questions, and try and make the project as best it could possibly be. So, Chris, briefly.
Okay, so 2 years ago, we acquired Oakland Park after a lot of negotiations with Outfront. Oakland Park did not generate much revenue from the township at all, okay? They paid, I believe it was I'm going to speak from my memory, but most of it's correct. It was about $10,000 a year in taxes, right? They didn't generate much money on anything at all. Those billboards, when we went back and we were in negotiations with Outfront on them, we had gone back well over 60 years. Those billboards at one point were originally put up as intersections to this way to Mountainside, this way to Elizabeth. That's actually what they were for. And somehow along the line, they got grandfathered in. They were purchased, let me back up, they were purchased by the billboard company. They became billboards when this was a farming community, and that was not a center of town. They then get grandfathered in, and they were there. We are one of the only communities that had these billboards. They are unsightly. They have no business in this day and age being part of our landscape for our center of town. So when we were able to strike a deal with Outfront and actually get the land for $1, we jumped on it. I was in the meeting, I pled my case to Outfront, and I said, you know, the township at this point is looking for a win against big guys. Your billboards are everywhere. Please hear our case when we tell you that we do not want billboards here anymore. Okay, so we get the land. We then decide we're going to build a sitting park for the businesses and everything over there, because their seating is a premium over there, and there's not anywhere to go once the small sidewalk spaces are filled up, and once the storefronts are filled up, there's really nowhere to go. Then queue in after school. After school, those kids are literally staged in the street, and there's no stopping them. And I think we've known that. That's been like that for decades. So we don't know how to stop that. So then another thought came around. We already know we're going to build a sitting park on Oakland. What if we had closed off Oakland Avenue and had the traffic come up Waverly? And the thought behind that was The storefronts are at the top on Mountain Avenue. Oakland would become a cul-de-sac. And the storefronts would still, the storefront on Mountain Avenue, in between Oakland and Waverly, would still have access to leave out of Waverly. The road in the back was looked at by fire, was looked at by police, was looked at by the county. We had enough room, we still have enough room to use that road if we want to, contrary to what anybody else has put online. And I will preface everything I'm saying right now with, there was a lot of drama put online unnecessarily, and a lot of things that were put out there that were not factually true at all. They were just pure wrong. There was no paper sitting on the county's desk that was dead on arrival. There was none of that. Counties looked at it. That was a paper road. They've already said that we can do with this if we want to. So, the thought said, well, maybe that would be better because then we would not have people waiting in the street on Oakland Avenue, kids, and it would actually increase the square footage of the park by 600 some odd feet, maybe a little bit more. Gave us some good usage if we wanted to do maybe concerts, etc. So we did a traffic study. The traffic study showed we did 5 days on Oakland, and I believe we did 4 days on Waverly. Waverly beat Oakland. It was like 1,000 to 1,600. More people used Waverly than Oakland. That is a fact. The traffic study says that. Now, there were several concerns about getting out in case something flooded or there was a bad weather situation or so on, which then made us take a look at maybe a hybrid, right? So we have two designs in front of you, and one of them was for a closed-off park with Oakland closed, and one was just open, leaving Oakland open. There is a third possibility that was out there that said there would be a way to close off Oakland when it wanted to be closed off with the use of removable bollards and open when it needed to be open. And I'm just going to give an example that I'm just going to pop out of my head. Monday through Friday, if the businesses are open 9 o'clock till 2, they would be open, the roads. When school comes out, maybe they would be closed down for an hour. It was just things that were thrown around. The intention of this meeting was always to let everybody have a say in it. We had a forester over there looking at those trees. Those trees had to come down. We had our head of DPW come and look at those trees. Those trees had to come down. There was nothing there that was salvageable, and everything is going to be replanted 10 times over there. So, the purpose of this meeting is for input, because we have not made a decision, again, contrary to what was put online. No one's made a decision on anything. We want to know what you guys think. Are you in approval of maybe a cul-de-sac on Oakland? Are you in approval of maybe a hybrid where Oakland can get closed off at times on a weekend if there's events going on? Are you, in approval of just keeping it open? We're trying to make everybody happy, and there's a lot of information that had been put out that was bad. The county supplied us with a $416,000 grant for this park. So we are going to spend every dollar of it because the money cannot be used anywhere else. You can't go online, and I keep referring online because it's just the devil at this point with what's get thrown out there. You can't take $100,000, build a park, and put $300,000 towards the budget. That's not how this works. All $416,000 is going to be spent on this park no matter what. The only thing I can tell you is that the park will have electric, it will have Wi-Fi, and we're looking for water for this park. I think that pretty much covers it.
Thank you, Chris. At this point, would anybody from the public like to come and speak on this issue? Yeah, come on over. Before you start, please state your name and address, and I believe we have a 4-minute speaking time? 4 minutes.
Sure. Chris Schramm, 54 Waverly. I spoke at the last meeting showing my approval for the park, but opposition to closing of Oakland Avenue. At that time, I listed many scenarios. You just brought up a traffic survey. Your traffic survey has not been documented. We haven't seen that. What I'd like to know, and what you guys really should be upfront about is, okay, you did a quantity of cars, but now whatever was going down Oakland is 100% going down Waverly. So making a left-hand turn, I understand the concept of timing and everything like that. Also, you mentioned at the last meeting that you were looking for input. At that time of the meeting, I presented my opposition, my case, my theories. After the meeting, I got to thinking, and I looked at your rendering, and I decided to contact Mr. Chris Capides through email, and I sent him a proposal here that I wanted to share with you tonight. I'm still in opposition of closing Oakland, but maybe a happy medium would be to make it a one-way going out. So you can still make your left turn. You can now narrow Oakland Avenue, create a bigger buffer for kids to stand on, and what you just brought up, where if you did want to close it with barricades, you could easily close a one-way versus a two-way. I took my own liberty to do this. Concept of what I was thinking. I don't know if this was presented to you by Mr. Capides, and that's a little disappointing that it wasn't, because I took the liberty of emailing him and sending this to him. So now I'm bringing it here to bring it to your attention. Ultimately, what you brought up about timing, I kind of agree that, yes, if this was closed on a weekend, it's not going to affect us. But from 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning, trying to make a left turn with the school, it is insane. And now with the snow, it's even worse. And recently, Mr. Capides just posted on his newsletter to the town, he made the perfect case again, that people in town are complaining who live on a cul-de-sac that their snow removal is not as good, not as efficient, and that's what's gonna happen on Waverly and Oakland. So we still have the liberty to make a left for both the businesses, the residents, and the employees at those businesses. Currently, Waverly does get more traffic primarily because of the cardiologist's office. But now you're asking all the businesses that do go on the Oakland side to now congregate with the cardiologist's office. So I think this is a happy medium. I think you seriously with your engineers, and then incorporate your idea. If you did want to close it with barricades for events, I think we could live with that, but ultimately it has to stay open for a left turn, is my position.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just want to add one thing to what you were saying, because that's something that actually had come off of my, my memory. One of the catalysts for the closing of Oakland Park was you had a resident who lived who's moved since then, but they lived right at the first house over there. And the complaint was, with the stores being put there were cars being parked in front of their house. And that was an issue. And the police had been called numerous times to that person's house with requests to make people move cars, which we cannot. So residents of Oakland, that's another possibility that I want you to think about also, is that there is a chance that Oakland does become a parking zone for people wanting to use the stores.
I think it would have become more of a parking zone if it was a cul-de-sac.
That's what I'm throwing it out though, but that was.
In my rendering there, I actually created parking spots.
Right.
Whether you do it on the left side or the right side.
Right.
Up to that particular person's house, is totally legal.
Correct.
No different than people coming and parking in front of
No,
my
we-
house and going to Mizell Park. We deal with it.
Absolutely
But
agree with you, but that was
it's
one
not-
of the
we-
catalysts that
We love our
started it.
neighborhood, it's quiet, it's tranquil.
Yep.
But you're definitely doubling the capacity of Waverly Avenue. And now that Mizell Park is open, now that it's lit, our traffic is even more. You're not taking that into consideration. I'm there. I've been there for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That park has been doubled in capacity since they put the lights up.
Okay.
It's been wonderful. We love it. It's
Right.
great to walk around there. You guys need to replace the bridge. I hope you're aware of that. It's going down again.
We did
It's gonna
repair
go
it.
down. No, it's gone. It's breaking again. I walk it every day.
Okay, we will
it's
take a
gonna-
look at it.
What you need to do is not totally different. Just put it on top of the train tracks and build a metal one and take that one down because it's not going to last.
You're the
And
first one now that, we will look at it tomorrow. You're the first one that's approached us
don't
with it
close it
again.
because I need to walk my dog there every day.
Completely
I
understood.
can get across, but don't close it again, please.
Got it.
Just replace the. It's all broken. The kids
We,
busted it
we will
all
take
out.
a look at it again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharem. Anyone else? Yeah, come on up.
Hey, my name's Brendan Dugan, 59 Briar Hills Circle. So as I'm not a resident of this particular block, I go to get my hair cut at One Cut right here. I've been to the new ice cream shop. Love that area. Personally, I'm in favor of a cul-de-sac. Obviously, it doesn't affect my property value or any of that, so take that with a grain of salt. But personally, I think any extra public space for pedestrians is a plus, just as a whole for the town. It's a lot more user-friendly. As you said, kids from the high school need a place to hang out as well. It'll most likely increase the efficiency and foot traffic for the businesses in that area, and more green space, fewer cars, just like in that particular area. We don't have a straight up like a main downtown per se in Springfield. This is, if we do add a little bit more green space, more pedestrian friendly areas, I feel like it would start to make this part of Springfield a little bit more cohesive as a downtown.
As a downtown unit.
Yeah, so that's really it.
Appreciate the comment.
Thank you, Mr. Dugan.
you.
Anyone else? Come on up.
I'm Nilda Schubert.
You can pull it down if you need to. It's just,
I'm Nilda Schubert from 26 Oakland Avenue. Closing that street is very dangerous, to my opinion. I lived there for many years. When my mother-in-law lived with my husband and I, we had called 911 for numerous times. God forbid you guys close that street. We have to call 911 in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day. It doesn't matter what time it is. How fast you think we can get help to us? Or, God forbid, there is a fire. How fast can a fire truck turn down the street? Keep that in mind. That's all.
Thank you very much.
I'm Dana Black. I live in 19 Norwood Road, so I'm on the other side of mountain, like by Henshaw. Sorry. I have two little kids. We walk to that main street all the time.
Address was 19 Norwood.
19 Norwood Road. Sorry. I'm personally in favor of closing it down. I think having that walkability, especially pushing strollers, having little kids running around like crazy, less, chaos would be really nice. Having that central part where we're all outside. I think COVID taught us having more outdoor space that we can hang out at is a good investment in the long run. And I'm personally really impressed that you guys thought about this and are putting it forward. Or hopefully like it's some parkland, something putting forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, I would like to stress that we, one more, come on up.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Schramm. I'm at 54 Waverly Avenue. I'm all for the park. I'm not for closing it. I would love to keep Waverly open. I go down Waverly all the time to make right turns, left turns, especially during the school traffic in the morning, in the afternoon. As someone who works in the environmental industry, like I said, I'm for the park, just not for closing the street. It would just be a major traffic hazard, and I'm driving all the time too. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schramm. All right, last call. If anybody else would like to speak on the Oakland Avenue Park project, seeing nobody else, I'm going to go ahead and ask if anybody up here would like to provide any comments. If not, we could go ahead and close the public hearing. Chris?
Public comments right now. Looking at the one-way, the one-way is absolutely something that should be looked at. Anybody, I mean, I guess I could just do a show of hands with anybody here. If the situation was a hybrid situation, and you're here about this park, and what I mean is hybrid, meaning we can close it off when we want, or we can open it when we want. Is there anybody opposed to that? Well,
Well,
yeah,
I think the default would be that it's open.
right.
I think the default would be that it's open.
But that's that, and
Okay.
that's kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, speak for yourself, absolutely. Okay, thank you. Understood, thank you. Thank you, Chris. Alex, any comments?
We have two members absent. I think there's needs to be much more discussion amongst them.
Yep, definitely agree.
It's continued to be nice to hear from everybody. I mean, hey, we have some money. Something is going to get done. That's not going to continue to be an empty lot past this year. If it is, then
We've
something
done something
really went
wrong.
wrong.
Yep.
So we do need to make a decision, I think, sooner than later, just because I don't think we want to see another empty lot for another spring there. And I think we have to make a decision by the end of winter so that we can get contractors in place and we see how slow things get. But we'll continue to hear from people. I've been taking a ticker for the last two meetings, but if anybody out there still has some thoughts, please email us. That's still another way that it gets on record, at least for all of us. And I don't know when I forget when our next meeting is, but if Mayor, you want to make a decision by the end of February, then I think at the next meeting we need to make sure all members of the committee
Totally
some
agree.
input up here.
February 10th is our next meeting.
Absolutely agree.
Mayor Kaiser just said, something definitely has to go there. There are definite safety issues with closing it. I would like to confer with our first responders, just in terms of where their thoughts are. Safety points and the traffic points were very well made. Kudos on the artwork and the handwriting, Mr. Schramm, well done. And it was a really solid idea. Appreciate your thought into it. I'm gonna go ahead and close this public hearing, and we're gonna move on with our regular business agenda. Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for coming. business meeting. We're going to have public comment on agenda items only. Anybody? Come on up.
I want to just ask a favor. It's not the agenda, but I'm diabetic. I have to eat, and it's a very quick compliment. If I could just make a little statement for the first aid squad, if you don't mind. And I know it's against protocol, but if you could, I'm going to be gone in 30 seconds.
Sure, go for it.
Bob Groder, 98 Washington Avenue. I just want to thank the first aid squad because I thought I was having a heart attack a week ago Sunday. They picked me up in an ambulance, got me to the hospital. They calmed me down. They took good care of me, and the hospital luckily found nothing wrong. But, you know, since I've had quadruple bypass surgery, I do get chest tightness. I have health issues, and they took good care of me. I just want to thank them. They calmed the situation, and I was very appreciative.
They are fantastic.
Well,
Thank you very much, Mr.
I
Groder.
didn't post it online. I
You're,
kept it.
you're feeling okay now?
You're good?
Thank you. Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, it was just I go through these pains, and they come and go. It was one that was more than normal, so I was scared.
Will you come help shovel my sidewalk?
No, I'm not allowed. Are you? Oh, you're being funny. No. Thank you.
Okay. Any public comment, agenda items only? Moving on, reports. Administrators report, Mr. Basic-Lo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I just make a comment, Mr. Strem? You pointed out that the bridge again, we're having a problem. Well, we got to be careful because we've got issues as far as who owns, what we're allowed, not allowed to do. Well, it's got. It's good. Oh, I don't disagree. We got to do it under the cover of darkness. All right, I just wanted to touch on a few things. Mr. Robert Betcher is with us tonight, our head of DPW, so we're going to discuss the last storm because that was a major topic for us. But before we do that, I just wanted to touch on a couple things. If anybody noticed, we had a big camera project in town that we just finished Town Hall last Thursday, Friday? So now we've got cameras in Town Hall, the municipal building, PD, DPW, the pool, and the fire department. So we're covered with closed circuit TV everywhere, and it records, et cetera, et cetera. As far as the illegal dumping at the pool, we've had 8 people that have gone to court and been fined for illegal dumping.
That's correct.
So, and that's posted everywhere. So we're trying to stop that because it ends up costing us a bunch of money to get rid of this stuff that's being dumped that we can't just discard. Some of it is hazardous, so we have to be very careful. One other thing I wanted to touch on that Craig is working on for us, we found out about, Mr. Mastroni brought up to me, is that these e-bikes, when they get in an accident and they break down, if somebody runs one over, the batteries catch on fire, they stay lit for several days, and they become hazardous material. Now, the county comes out and boxes them up like to protect it, but they will not take them away. So then we've got to get rid of the batteries. And Mike, what do you think we were looking at, $2,000?
Yeah, so it all depends. They were talking about a lithium-ion battery for like an e-bike, let's say.
Yeah.
It catches fire, we extinguish it. It could take up to several hours. Once it's extinguished, the county hazmat team will come out and they will overpack it, they call it, in a 55-gallon steel drum, where they'll put like fire retardant around it, pack the battery. Then they leave that with the homeowner or the bike owner. They do not take it. To get rid of a 55-gallon drum is roughly $2,000 to $3,000. There's incidents occurring throughout the county and throughout the state where these bikes catch fire. The fire department extinguishes it. Hazmat teams throughout the state, they pack it and they leave it at the homeowner's site. They call the insurance company. Insurance says, we're not paying for it. So, you know, these drums are found on the side of the street for regular garbage. They're not taken, or they're found inside these people's homes or driveways again. So, you know, it's one of these things that these bikes are all over the place. We see them going up and down the road, and we're going to have an incident. How are we going to dispose of it, and how are we going to recoup the funds? That was the big topic of the conversation that I had with Mr. Basilico.
And they have identification on them, so we should be able to track it back to the owner. So we're asking Mr. Dow to look into putting something on the books so that if somebody does have an accident and abandons it, that $2,000 to get rid of it doesn't end up on us,
Well,
hopefully.
I mean, with the new law, now everything now needs to be registered. You know, I know there's a catch-up period, but I mean, it needs to be registered. Some things need to be insured, so obviously things that are insurable would be insured. So I mean, and it would come down to a matter of billing, right?
Yeah, well, as Mike pointed out, the insurance companies are somewhere walking away from the disposal. So we just want to make sure that we can get rid of this stuff.
I mean, there's no e-bike insurance now, is there?
So these bikes are not insured to begin with.
Correct.
So if they had a structure fire in a garage, I would assume the insurance company would take that as part of the property and loss. However, you know, we have a problem, let's say on Mountain Avenue, where the bike catches fire on the way to school. Who picks it up? I mean, the kid can't take it home, and now we have this hazardous battery that caught fire sitting on the side of the road in a drum. How do we dispose of it? And that was the big topic. It was brought up at a meeting because it's happening throughout the state, and everyone's pointing the fingers and figuring out who's taking this stuff. We just can't leave it on the side of the road. So the hazmat team will make it safe. They'll make it so it can't catch fire again, and if it does, it doesn't extend anywhere. But now we have an unsightly 55-gallon steel drum with a hazmat sticker on it sitting on the side of a road.
Somebody needs to take care of it.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, even if there is eventually insurance for it, what's the probability that people get insurance for a bike and don't just drive it anyway or wherever? I mean, it is certainly a cost that somebody has to bear. Absolutely. So, but this just goes back to the point. I think Committeeman Weber made this point: is when parents are looking to buy these for the kids, it's different than any other kind of pedal bike in the past, and people have to be aware of that there's a lot more to this. They travel at high speeds. They do have some more danger than a regular bike, and people have to be aware of this before just buying it off of Temu and having it delivered.
So Craig is looking into that. We'll keep you guys abreast of what goes on.
Thank you.
Going back to the snowstorm, first of all, I want to put out the thanks to Robbie and the DPW crew. They worked very, very hard, long hours to try to clean up the town. And it's not an easy thing. We were receiving 2 inches per hour when we were out there, and salt wasn't helping because the temperatures were so cold. We put down 50 tons, but it just doesn't do a whole lot. On top of that, we got 7 township buildings, 7 bus stops, 25 crosswalks that we got to clear. There were 11 park sidewalks, 35 outer sidewalks, and over 60 intersections that we also had to clear. So the guys, besides plowing the roads, they're very busy with a lot of handwork also. Robbie, why don't you touch on what the guys actually did, what it took?
Okay, first let me say that every street in town is treated the same. Timing may be a little off according to SOP. So if I took a zone like Zone 2 and we're getting 2 inches an hour, my main priority is to keep the through streets open, which in Zone 2 would be like Laurel, Redwood, Smithfield, Evergreen, and Milltown Road, so that emergency services can get to the heart of that section and then move on from there. As John said, and then afterwards we'll move into the secondary streets. We try to keep them passable, but again, we're returning back to the through streets. We have over 220 streets in town. We were able to cover every zone with between 2 and 3 plows. And we worked, the snow came in early Sunday morning. It ended Sunday evening. We had the roads open by Monday morning at 8 o'clock, at which point we moved on to our buildings, bus stops, crosswalks, parks, sidewalks, And in between all that, we do respond to every resident. Every call is addressed, and we get back to everybody. Snowstorms are taxing on everybody. Taxpayers, DPW, fire department, police, everyone. Out of the gate, our goal is to not place any burden, unnecessary burden, I should say, on any taxpayer, but to be consistent with snow plowing. Unfortunately, some residents look at it as a burden.
The other thing I wanted to touch on, again, and we asked people before this, please don't have your landscaper plow your driveway into the street and leave it. We had some businesses that actually did their parking lots and push snow into the street. So we're gonna have our zoning officer address the businesses that we know were doing it and ask them, they gotta keep it on their own lot. They can't push it into the roadway. We go by, we clean the road, they push it back in the roadway, we're like chasing our tail, and then it gets crushed, and next thing you know, you got a sheet of ice. So that's kind of always a little bit frustrating for us.
I actually tried to take pictures throughout the storm and show a street that was plowed by us. And again, properties don't have any place to put the snow, so they're moving it out into the street. So down the road, it looks like we didn't do our job, but in fact, we actually did. So we actually have to return to a lot of these streets after working 24 hours on the streets, and now we're on sidewalks and everything else. Residents are looking for us to come back. So it gets to be very tough.
2 points on this. One, I don't know what the answer is, but I have been noticing, and I noticed it in other places. Some of the new construction, they just don't have a good spot to put it, and then it either stacks up, and then you notice it with a lot of places, and I did notice it driving around this storm and the last storm. It's just like you get to a spot, and then there's like suddenly a new patch of snow, and clearly it's not the snowplow didn't lift up his thing, it's that somebody clearly pushed it out in this thing, and some of the apartment complexes. We should, and I don't know if it's through the planning board, but when they come, I don't know if you can make them have a plan of what they're gonna do with the snow.
Good point.
But I have noticed it. I noticed it at work a lot of times. It's just like, they just don't know, or they have inexperienced plows that just don't clear the right space. But maybe if we can put that part of the planning, that they have some kind of snow plan.
Yeah.
To do it. I mean, some lots really should just kind of pick it up off-site and take it. But I don't think you can mandate that. The second point is, hey, we've had snow events in the last few years, but I think this is the largest storm in a very long time. So I think everybody, right, if you're doing it every year, you're probably a little bit more on the ball, right? But after a break of snow, this was an amount of snow in a limited time. I think I woke up around like 5:30, and there was really nothing on the ground. And then when I looked back out by like 8 o'clock, it was deep. So it was kind of dumped a lot of snow in a short amount of time, and we haven't had such a storm in a very long time. So I think that added to some people's stress levels, and having not been stuck inside for a 10 to 12 incher in a very long time, definitely added to some of the stress of everybody.
We
But
actually
thank you.
had to go back out again at 2 o'clock this morning over to Caldwell School because the snow was piled so high, there was no place to drop the kids off. So DPW came in at 2. Did you actually have to remove that, pick it up, and cart it out, or did you do it?
Yeah, so what we normally do on the snow like that, because there's no parking in the school lot, the length of Caldwell, pretty much just outside the footprint of the school, the residents pull up to drop their children off, so they have to climb over the snow to get onto the sidewalk to get into school. So it's really very unsafe. So normally what we do in a snow like this, we come in early in the morning, which was 2 o'clock. This morning, we shut the road down. We clean the whole one side and the sidewalk. There's no snow there. We cart it to our community pool parking lot and we dump it in the back. And this is also areas where we remove snow has a lot to do with pending snow when we're getting it in the forecast, and we ourselves don't have room. So it's just a safe thing to do for the school because there's no parking.
And we did help the school out. We got some calls from the high school. I know Rachel had called us. They had a
Yes.
truck that broke down. We brought a mechanic in to help her out with that, and you salted also for them.
Yeah, don't have a lot of equipment, and she called me up, their salt truck broke down. We took it over at TPW, and my mechanic fixed it, but in the meantime, we went over and we salted their lots and took care of them. So again, anything that comes my way in the interest of safety, I'm always gonna make that call in the interest of safety, whether somebody views it as correct or not. It's just the safe thing to do.
Any questions?
Yeah, I actually want to thank you because I'd gotten my sidewalk cleaned. It was perfect. And then your plow came down and literally kept me outside for like another hour. No, but I'm teasing because that is the nature of the game. It was going so fast. I had it cleaned by, let's just say, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. There had already been another 2-3 inches on the ground since the plow would come by again.
You know, and
People got to be patient. There's nothing else that can be done.
we try, and I get it, but we try to ask homeowners to wait. So you only have to shovel the apron once in your driveway one time. But again,
No, for me, it worked better because it was just going so fast that even when the plow came again, it only threw an inch or two back on the sidewalk, and I was able to get a grip on it. But I guess my point of just teasing with you right now is to the people that think it's done intentionally or whatever, there's nowhere for the snow to go. The plow's going, you know, we have the luxury of going curb to curb. A lot of towns don't do, Union can't do that. I mean, they're trying to put people on the lawns over there.
yeah.
We have the luxury of really going curb to curb and getting these things as clean as we can. So I think it was a bang-up job. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope we don't get another shot at it this weekend.
Oh, me too. Yeah, Robbie, I just wanted to personally thank your department and as well as you. You were incredibly available, you were incredibly reachable, and incredibly responsive. So thank you. There are about 12 people that said that we had the best streets in the area. Some online, some over text. So that's a testament to you. I don't know how you train them or what you feed them, but keep doing it.
As long as you feed them, they always stay.
But I mean, this had to have been, I mean, man hours. It had to have been 2 straight days of work, pretty much, right?
Yeah, yes, it was about 35 hours.
I mean, you got a little punchy with me at one point, but
Yes, I got a little confused with you.
but truly, just a masterful job. You really did great, and you know, Deputy Chief Mastroni, Chief Cook. You know, I'm sorry your 2 departments don't get nearly the amount of glory, but you know, didn't hear any issues. So seriously, well done, Robbie.
And again, I always welcome any phone call, any resident to call who wants to speak to me about procedures, how things work. I'd be more than happy to go out with me and meet with them.
Can we just get a little clarity real quick on temperature that salt becomes effective, not effective, and why does Springfield not brine roads?
We've never brimed roads. And briming, in my opinion, is only effective on the initial snowfall. And if it rains before it snows, that brine really is ineffective. And it's expensive. And I find is just as effective. Now, they brine a lot earlier because it sticks. So we just get out a little bit later and pre-salt the roads. That's just my opinion of brining.
Salt does not work in single digits? It's
They're both active and inactive depending on the temperature, both the same. And a lot has to do with the traffic that's on the road and sunlight. Now, if you look at any road, and I've gotten it a lot of times, I've come down South Springfield, Mizell, whatever, traffic is a major factor in bringing the roads down to blacktop. If you're on a side street, let's just say a cul-de-sac, it's not going to look like a main road where you get 1,000 cars over a period of several hours versus 10 cars on a side street. Those cars actually help the salt, and so does the sun. So it all depends on temperature, traffic, and sunlight.
Just that makes some sense. I mean, you can tell when you're driving on a brined road, but in the beginning, it does make a difference. At least I've noticed, like in the initial.
Oh, yeah,
in the snowfall,
absolutely. In the very beginning, it will, but once you get the road snow-covered.
It doesn't. It's like in that sleet moment, it does make a difference.
Yes, it does.
And if you get any precipitation, it washes it away.
And then would what is the expense compared? Like I don't know if we're looking at a ton of I don't know what the comparison is, but a ton of salt to a ton of brine that you would put.
I actually don't have the cost. I would have to look into it for brining. I did have a proposal. I met with a couple of gentlemen that came to my office. They left me a proposal on brining. So either you can partner up with another town. There's companies that'll come out and set you up for the season. And in my opinion, I didn't feel it was necessary.
Gotcha.
But we're paying $73 a ton for salt.
And then do we salt like all the side streets, or do we, I focus just primarily on the cut-throughs, like a cul-de-sac? Do we?
Well, again, salting, when we leave, we're not going to put the spinner on and just drive. So we salt a lot of the hills, bridges, the curves, and then we spot the side streets on the straightaway so that, because you would just go through a massive amount of salt. Yeah, there's areas that get a lot of salt, and there's areas that don't require a lot of salt. And we usually spot all of our stop signs as you're approaching any intersection. And there's storms. Storms are very unique. I can go through 50 ton on a storm and go through 10 ton on the same storm based on the consistency of the snow. So every storm is unique. It's just the nature of it.
I can tell you on cost, in the previous life, we made our own brine because it was expensive to buy. And it's nothing more than salt water.
Yeah, so I mean, I can get 5 inches of snow with the temperatures we're having now, where I'm going through, like John had on tonight, 50 ton of salt so far in this storm. I can get 5 inches of snow, you got sunlight, and then, later on in the evening, the temperatures go above 32, and the next day the sun's out. I probably wouldn't use that much salt, so.
Anything further?
Thank you.
Robbie.
You're welcome.
Thank you. John, does that conclude your report?
That concludes it.
Okay. Moving right along, no ordinance on first reading, no ordinances on second reading. Oh, minutes.
I will make a motion to adopt the regular and executive meeting minutes of December 16th, 2025 as emailed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Finally, we have 2025 complete.
Moving right along. Resolutions, we have resolutions 2026-60, 2026-61, 2026-62, 2026-63, 2026-64, 2026-65, 2026-66, 2026-67, 2026-68, 2026-69, 2026-70. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to adopt resolutions 2026-60 through 2026-70.
Second.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mayor Laufer?
Yes.
Okay.
Discussion and action items. Accepting the resignation of Erica Dubois as a member of the library board.
I will make a motion to accept Erica Dubois's resignation. Thanking her for her service for the township, and once again, what? She got me back. Touche. I will thank her for her service, and of course, this goes with saying that we're looking for people. So I think, Mr. Mayor, you made that pitch in the beginning. This is clearly we need people.
We absolutely need people. Chris, would you like to second that?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next is approving a request from Chabad Jewish Learning Center for the use of the Margaret Bandrowski Meeting Room on Monday, March 2nd, 2026, from 3 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. for a Purim event. Hold harmless, provided certificate of insurance to be provided when approved.
I would like to make a motion to approve that request.
Alex?
Second.
All in, roll call.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser? Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mayor Laufer?
Yes. Next is a request from New York Blood Center, New Jersey Blood Services, for use of Chisholm Community Center Adler Gym on Monday, March 30th, 2026, from 11:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. for a blood drive. Hold harmless and COI are provided.
I would like to make a motion to approve that request.
Second.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mayor Laufer?
Yes. Finance.
I will make a motion to make a payroll and invoices for the period of January 14, 2026 through January 27, 2026 in the amount of $4,770,999.83.
We'll second that.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Laufer?
Yes. Correspondence. We have none. Public comment on any governmental issue. Anybody? Public comment is closed. We are not going to be in executive session due to our numbers today. We're going to push it to February 10th. Everybody who is riced will remain riced. So no executive session, no action taken. So we're going to skip that agenda item. Are we going to move for an adjournment?
Make a motion?
Make a motion to,
No, you're seconding them.
I'm sorry, I'm seconding.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.